Dave, back at Bankstown, that brings back old memories.
Yeah, no, we're here for a number of years, nearly 20 years, and got a lot of old friends today, which is really good.
And what about driving on the track? Did it bring back some memories for you?
Yeah, well, I was on here every morning for a long time, training a lot of horses. So yeah, no, it was great to us, Bankstown, and a lot of fond memories, and it was great. Yeah.
Now, the reason you're in Sydney is for the Miracle Mile on Sunday, and it has been a long time since we've seen you compete in one.
Yeah, 87 with Gay Adam. It's been a long time, and it was always hard to get a run in the Miracle Mile when they had the 6 runners, and tried hard a few times, but it's just great to have another shot at it, and so it's all good.
Is there any similarity between Gay Adam and Glennie the Shark?
Speed-wise, but probably Glennie's a bit tougher. Gay Adam just lacked a little bit of, he's a brilliant horse, but Lenny's got ticks a few more boxes than Gay Adam.
Back in 1987, were you nervous going into the race?
Because I was one of the outsiders. I was sort of a new kid on the block sort of thing, and I drew good, and I was on the fence, and a village kid was in the race, and I actually really enjoyed it. I was nervous, and I thought I had a pretty. He wasn't far away from them, but I just really enjoyed that. It was great in that era. We had such big crowds for Miracle Mile, and it was just a great experience.
Fast forward nearly 30 years. Are you feeling any nerves with Lenny this year?
Well, because he's had such a great season, this is just whatever comes on Sunday. It's just cream on the. I know he's going to run a good race wherever he finishes. So, just hope he has a bit of luck. But I'm really happy with the way the horse is. Pressure-wise, I thought I had a little bit of pressure in Perth. I'm a bit more relaxed with him this week. As I said, it's the end of the season nearly for him, and he's good and he's healthy, and I'm sort of confident that he'll sort of run a good race. So you're nervous, and you don't get many chances to win a Miracle Mile. So, I'm pretty relaxed really.
How does the horse settle into new surroundings?
Fantastic. He's a good eater, and he's been to retention twice before at Menangle, and they're good there. They put him on if they've been there a number of times. I know Bay Tide's got his own stable, and Lenny's in the same stable he's been. So he's. I think once they've been there once, I think they get through it pretty good.
And what about yesterday's extreme heat? Were you in Sydney for that, or did you travel up yesterday?
No, because we were due to go into retention in the morning, and then they changed it, so I was there the day before. But the new barns there, they were really good. They got through the heat well, and we had fans on. Lenny had a fan on him, but we got through that extreme heat really well. Yeah.
Actually, I saw him out in the retention barn this morning, and he likes the fan. He was out in front of it when it was blowing wind in his face this morning. He's a bit of a fan of that.
Yeah, no, at home we got a fan for him, so he's used to it, and they love it. Yeah, once they get used to it, yeah.
And where does he sit in terms of the horses that you've had anything to do with?
Oh, he's by far the best. I've had a lot of nice horses, but he's just. Even when you work him, or the things he can do, a lot of them couldn't do what he can do. So, he's by far the best horse. Ultrajet was dour. He had a little bit of speed, but Lenny's got more speed and it's probably just as tough. So, they're two of my top two. And then a lot of really nice horses, but you can tell the difference between Lenny and the other ones.
Is he a once-in-a-lifetime sort of horse?
Oh, I think so, yeah. He just, because he gets through, he doesn't get knocked around with his racing. He gets through the racing really good, and he thrives on it, It's just unfortunate he's had a few soundness issues, but, he's a dream to train. Some horses have got ability, and they're nightmares to handle and all that sort of stuff. He's a 6-year-old stallion, and he's just, he becomes like your best friend. He's so good to handle.
Dave, after 800 metres, when you're sitting in the grandstand, where do you want to see him?
Well, I think he'll be on Bo's back. And then all depends where Faith in Me is. If he's on my back and he happens to come out a little bit early, that might be a bit of a worry. But just as long as he gets a good trip, and if he's following Bo, he's the right horse to get him into the race.
Chris Alford has won so many big races. The Miracle Mile's not one of them. Do you give him any instructions, or do you just leave all of that to him?
No, I leave it all to him. Yeah, no, he's a great driver. He would look at the race 100 times, and he knows the horse as well as I do. So I just say, how I think he is health-wise and fitness-wise, and he's ticked every box this week. So we got his blood done this week is perfect. So we're happy with the way he's going into the race.
When he arrived at your stable, did you have any idea that he would be the horse that he is to win an Inter-Dominion, to win a Victoria Cup and be one of the main chances in a Miracle Mile?
Yeah, I always trained for Kevin Risley. I had Spider Girl there at the time, and Patrick Ryan, who's his farm manager, told me they got a nice 2-year-old, and I went to, I was going to John's, and I actually followed him because Patrick Ryan used to wrap him up all the time, and I just sort of followed him from the start, and when John had him, did a great job with him. To win a Derby anywhere, well, especially Victoria, New South Wales, it's one of the hardest races you can win. And and I know he was outside of that day, but he was a classy 3-year-old, and when you get those sort of horses, you think hopefully they take the next step. And because of the horse's way he is laid back, and his great attitude, that's sort of like he's always going to get better.
What do you do with him after Sunday?
We'll probably give him a little break. We might come back for the Len Smith. We just don't know yet. He's had such a great season, and we'll just work out. Because the only worry with him, if I give him a big break, he'll get too big on me. He's a gross doer, and because he's got leg problem, he's had leg problems in the past. We just sort of don't want to get him too heavy, so we just might have to give him a few preps in between now and going back to Perth. Hopefully, get him sound for there.
So that's that. You want to go back and defend the title?
Oh, I'd love to. He handled that series really good, and as I said, but my biggest main concern with him all the time I've had him has been his soundness, and if he goes out this week sound, I'll be wrapped because it'll be all good for next year.
I'd be remiss of me not to ask you about the mare's quick draft. You give her a hope in the ladyship?
Yeah, and Julia Bromack, I've been really impressed with her. They're not out of that race. If they go, they're quality mares, probably not as classy as the really good with the Friths, but they're not far behind, and they're opportunists. If they got to, I think they'll be sort of swooping late.
Yeah. All the best of luck on Sunday.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. Thank you.